Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be discussing my wide angle lens, which is the 16 to 28. I don't know if you can see it there. 16 to 28 Tokina 2.8 lens, and in this video we're going to be talking about obviously the build quality, the features, the pros and the cons, and what you can use this lens for. So let's get into the video. Spoiler alert, this is a very good lens. It may be an old lens. It first came out in 2010 by Tokina. Let's talk about the main features of the lens. As you can see, it has a very bulbous front end, and we'll talk about that in the cons later in the video. It weighs 2.2 pounds, so it's a heavy lens. It goes down to 2.8 to f/22, which is a good range to have. So the low light capabilities of this lens is good. Well built. It's mainly full of metal with loads of elements inside it, and it has plastic and rings on the outside and some plastic on the hood. Unfortunately, you can't remove the hood. It is built in as part of the design of the lens. It has 9 rounded aperture blades, so when you put it in 2.8 and you blur the background and there's light behind you, it's a very pleasing bokeh effect. The focus range is, at its closest, is 11 inches, which is really good, so you can get really close up to the subject and it will focus. The aperture ring on the lens is quite smooth, so it's not too tight, and the focus ring on here is just the same as the aperture ring. Where this lens differs from most lenses is that instead of having a switch on the side to put it into automatic or manual, it has this clutch system where it clicks forward and back. Can you see that? And it gives a reassuring click. Now, to my knowledge, not many other lenses have this kind of switch, and in fact I can't recall any other lens having this clutch system, push and pull. So if you do know of another lens that has this feature, put it in the comment and I'll have a look at it. As you know, with a lot of lenses, they're not all perfect, and there are some lenses that come with the downsides, some more than others. With this one, I think me using the clutch, it's not a big deal, but I'd rather it have a switch on the side like my other Nikon lenses. It's not weather sealed, so even though my main body cameras are weather sealed, putting this on, it's not weather sealed, although it does have a ring around this side, but I've never shot this in the rain or inclement weather. Another problem with the lens, a con, is that it does suffer from lens flare. So if you're shooting with the light slightly in front of you or up a bit or up above, you will get some flaring going across the lens. Also, I should mention that the focus drive is really loud. If that doesn't bother you, then it's not a con. For me, it doesn't bother me, but fair warning, it is loud. And I also should mention that the lens itself doesn't have stabilization. So if you're looking for a lens that might have stabilization, this is not for you. I tend to get around this problem by putting it on my gimbal, so there are means and ways of getting around some of these cons. Let's talk about the price. The price, I bought this 10 years ago, and I think I bought it for £600, which is more than half price as the equivalent Nikon lenses. So because it doesn't live on my camera, because I don't use it as much as I ought to, then paying £600, and you can get that way cheaper now on the second-hand market. It's a very good usable lens. It is sharp, but it's not as sharp as the Nikon or the Sony or the Canon, but if you're not pixel peeping, it is good enough for everyday use. So who would use a lens like this? Well, I use this sometimes when I'm doing indoor shoots and I'm shooting interiors, because at 16 it captures a wide field of view without distorting too much. If I had a 14 wide angle lens, those would bow the lines, bow the edges, and it's a different aesthetic to. At 16 is a good focal range for shooting indoors, and also if you're shooting architecture, it keeps the lines straight. And also this lens is also good for landscapes and cityscapes where you get a great field of view. This type of lens is not the lens I would have attached continuously to one of my camera bodies. I have my 24-70 Nikon lens always attached to one of my camera bodies. I can just pull it out and go. This lens is more specialized, so I have it on my shelf or have it in my bag if I need to pull it out, if I then want to be a bit more creative, or if I'm shooting an interior and I don't have a lot of space. Then shooting at 16, it's a very versatile lens. And don't forget, you can shoot at 24. So you can shoot portraits in this, but I wouldn't advise it. I've done it before, but because I've got other lenses, this is more specialized in terms of how I use it. Okay guys, thanks for watching the video. YouTube thinks that you might want to watch this one on this side, and if you have a mind to, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next video.